Your finances are important, and with so much information out there to know, we want to help. I'm Natasha Lubchenko. Welcome to Money Wisdom, sponsored by Johnson Brunetti. We're educating you about smart ways to manage your money, and joining us is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner and Johnson Brunetti partner. Hey, Eric, thanks for coming on today.
Hi, Natasha. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So today's topic is building your retirement portfolio. Sounds like a daunting task, but why is this so important?
Well, we're talking about saving for retirement. People are like, okay, well, I'm going to save money for retirement, so I have money to retire, and that's fairly straightforward. Not necessarily easy to do, to save more and more money, but what is that money actually doing? Because if your retirement savings are sitting in a checking account, that's great that you're saving money, but it's not really going to grow, and that's not helping much.
Right. Now let's jump into how we can actually get started here. First, you say we should look at risk tolerance to determine our portfolio mix.
Yes, very common. People come and say, oh, I was talking to my friend and this is what they're doing. Or, I heard about this and is that what I should be doing? It's so unique to you and what you need. Everyone needs a different amount of savings in retirement to live how they want to live. And everyone has different comfort levels. So even though we might say, well, if you just put it in the market and leave it there forever, worked out for Warren Buffett, it's probably going to work for you. If you can never sleep at night, it's not really working. People save money so that they can feel secure, so they can feel more comfortable. So, one thing is we talk about risk is how tolerant of risk are you? Before getting into how you should be allocated, you have to look at what are you comfortable with.
Right. It's a very personal matter. I'm sure everyone has their own tolerance. And now this next one to determine that portfolio mix is investing goals.
Let's keep it simple. How much money do you need to retire? People are like, oh, I don't know, more. Right. But everyone has a number. It's, we need $1 million to retire. Well, for some people, that's more than they'd ever need. For some people, that might be nowhere near enough. So you've got to identify that so that you have some sense of, okay, we have a plan and we're on track. We've already saved enough, because if you identify, well, how much do we need to retire? And you save that amount of money, your willingness to risk it once you have it is probably different. Because if you have enough to retire, why risk losing any of it? So that's something you've got to look at it that way too. Is, again, irrelevant what other people are doing. What's your plan? And are you on track for that?
Right. And finally, here we have retirement timeline, which it sounds very important.
Yeah, it's not just an age thing. Some people want to retire now. Some people want to retire at 55. Some people are never going to retire. So that's a big factor too. It's not just about age. Well, I'm going to retire at 65. It's, what is that plan? And if you are going to retire before 65, what are you going to do about health insurance? And when are you going to draw Social Security? And maybe you have a pension, and maybe you're going to move to Florida, right? All these factors that go into not just, should I be buying Apple stock, but more about what are you trying to accomplish and what do you want? And a big part of that is, well, when's the goal for retirement? A lot of people say, well, now, as soon as possible. Well, if that's the plan, let's start working on it. Let's talk about it.
Right. So those are 3 ways to determine our portfolio mix. And Eric, let's quickly run through the different asset allocation classes out there and what we need to know. We've got stocks, bonds, and annuities.
Well, keep it simple. You buy a stock, you buy Apple stock because you hope it grows. There you go. Right. Historically, long term, stocks do pretty darn well. Now, depending upon when people are watching this, stocks have gone up for over a decade in a row. So a lot of retirees are a little apprehensive. Well, how much longer is that going to continue? Not saying you shouldn't be in it, but if you've grown accustomed to, I guess my stocks are just going to go up 10% per year, that can be dangerous and risky. Then you look at bonds. Well, bonds have a lot to do with interest rates. And even though it might be exciting to buy your first house and get a very low 30-year fixed rate mortgage right now, it's not that exciting if you're trying to buy a CD or a bond, because the rates are so low. And with inflation going up, most likely, bonds might not get it done for you. And then you look at annuities. People say, I hate annuities. There's pros and cons to anything that's out there. And I understand that perspective against certain investments, which usually have something to do with someone who presented something to you at some point that maybe wasn't a fit, or it wasn't the full story, or you didn't fully understand how it worked. And that's never good. It's your plan, and you've got to know what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and how it's kind of working. Annuities can be good for some people, and for other people, it can be a huge mistake. So whatever road you're going to go down, it's probably balanced. It's probably not all your money in any one of these things. And these are just 3 quick things. There's lots and lots of things, but it's about having a plan, because people make mistakes and panic when they don't have a plan. So
All right, Eric, thank you so much for that insight. A lot to consider and to think about here. How can our viewers learn more about this if they'd like to start developing their own retirement portfolio?
So we talk about this stuff all day, every day. And a lot of people, well, I'm a little anxious about it. I'm embarrassed. I should have started sooner. It's about starting. It's about having the conversation. A lot of people are in a better place than they think they are, but there's a lot of mistakes made just because people don't know. So there's a book that we have that you can get by going to www.moneywisdomtv.com, and it talks specifically about annuities, which I think anyone who is heading towards retirement, read it. Education never hurts. Gain some insight into what this thing is, so then you can concretely say, yeah, no, I really don't like that thing, or that works a little different than I thought it did. So again, it's annuities as an asset class. It's a book. It'll help you prepare for retirement and maybe some different types of thinking, what it is that you want. And it's absolutely free. You can get it at moneywisdomtv.com. I encourage you to, and I think it'll help to, cast some light on some of these subjects.
Definitely. It's never too late to start. As you always say, that is such a great offer. Thank you, Eric Hogarth from Johnson Brunetti. And again, if you guys at home would like to learn more and to receive this offer, go to moneywisdomtv.com. For CT Style, I'm Natasha Lubchenko, and we will see you back here next time.